wabi-sabi. It's wabi-sabi, and I did some research to make sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly. The I's are pronounced as E, so wabi-sabi. And what the thought process is that there's no such thing as perfection in art. So if, let's say for the sake of argument, there's somebody that's making pottery and they've made a perfect, let's say it's a vase, and in that vase, it's just absolutely pristine. Well, they might put a little nick in the bottom of it, or maybe they'll leave a thumbprint in the clay, or maybe the glaze will just not be perfect on one side. And again, the thought process is to let the control go, right? To not try to control every little thing and to not be perfect. And I think in art, a lot of times we try to reach for perfection. And if you're reaching for perfection, well, you're really kind of setting yourself up for failure, because there is no such thing as perfection. So because of this, I've been doing a lot of reading and studying and talking to a lot of my students and a lot of my clients about this, and that is control versus surrender. What does it mean to surrender? What does it mean to surrender your life to Christ? What does it mean to surrender your life to God? What does it mean to surrender your life to the art form that you choose to do? In myself being a drummer, surrendering myself to the drums, surrendering myself to allowing the imperfections within me to come out within my music. It's a deep subject, not trying to control every little thing. So again, control versus surrender. And I think sometimes musicians, we have a way of wanting to control the outcome of every little thing, right? So like say you're working with a band, and specifically I'm saying an artist hat, right? Not the drummer hat, but the artist hat. So let's say I've written a song and I'm working on it with other musicians, and I try to control every little outcome, every little note of the guitar solo, every little note the bass player is playing, every little note of the hi-hat, whatever, right? Whatever. I have to learn to let that go. And I've been sharing this with my students. I think it's so freeing to allow things to happen more organically and surrender to that, right? Surrender your life to that. You know, if we try to control gigs and the tone of our instruments and every little aspect of our career and the relationships with the people around us, all we do is push everybody away, you know? And believe me, when I'm telling you this, I'm thinking of, you know, circumstances where I've done that, right? Where I've done that. So I'm not being preachy. I'm trying to, again, like I do with all my videos, try to, hey, look, I've done this, don't do that, right? The moment that you realize that everything is not within your control and you surrender to that, it's incredibly freeing, and it's much more, you know, I don't know, I think it's much more artistic. I don't think it's a weakness either. I think it's just showing trust. It's called a leap of faith for a reason, right? The weight of expectations is a heavy weight to carry. Again, let's go back to for the sake of argument, a song. Let's say now I've written a song and I'm writing it, and I have other musicians working with me, and I'm putting expectations on those musicians to play exactly what I want. Unless I pick up their instrument and play that for them, it's not going to be exactly what I want. So what I have to do is I have to let go. I have to give it over to them. Here, I want you to play a guitar solo on this song for me. Here's the song. Play a solo for me that fits, please. And just make it scream. When I get that solo back and I learn that, okay, I've asked for this particular musician, whoever it is, to play a guitar solo for me, they are going to give me the best that they have because I've entrusted them with my piece of art. Will it always be exactly what I envisioned or what I heard in my head? Probably not. And chances are pretty good once I let go and once I'm free of that, it'll probably be better than what I thought. So again, learning to let go, learning to let go. I think it also leads us to a place where we don't have as much pressure on ourselves to create a piece of perfection, so we're not putting it on somebody else, right? Allowing the freedom of somebody else to do their thing. Let's go of expectations that you put on yourself and expectations that you put on that song. Again, just letting it go, surrendering it to another person. There's a lot of ego in art. There's a lot of ego in the music business. And anybody that says they don't have an ego in the music business is lying to you. It takes an ego to walk out on stage and play, right? But we have to learn to put that down. We have to learn to not always have that ego, because that can keep us stuck, right? We might always want credit for something. I know I'm guilty of that. I want credit for this, right? I want my recognition for that. That's stupid. That's just ego talking. Let that stuff go, because that, all that does is kill you and kill relationships, right? If you let go of that, it will make your art, it will make your music, it will make your life, it will make your career better. I think if we don't do that, it keeps us shut in, right? Again, because we have these expectations. We have to learn to surrender that. Just surrender, let go. I remember one time I was thinking about, going out on tour, and I wanted this tour to go exactly this certain way and look a certain way. And once I got there, it didn't look anything like that. And that was really early in my career. And I remember just kind of starting to learn to go with the flow with it, right? Instead of being worried so much about where are we playing tomorrow night? How far is the ride? How far is this? Blah, blah, blah. Just, you know what? The tour bus is right there. I'm not driving it. I'm just going to get on the bus and go, right? That was a surrender moment for me. I maybe didn't realize it then, but it really was. Grief, mistakes, and moving forward. Now, I wrote that one down over here because I think that's a big one. We can't change the past from mistakes that we've made. I've made a lot of them, right? And I have grief over them. And for a long time, I beat myself up over that. And sometimes I still do. And that voice can get loud, and we can get lost in that grief, right? There's another way of looking at it, though, I think, that if I've made mistakes, if I've blown it, if I've hurt somebody, if I've really made a mistake, and then I go and I try to make an amends with that person, if I just sit there and beat myself up, that doesn't do anything for me. I have to learn to surrender that. I've made my amends. I've done things to try to make my mistake right. And then I have to let it go. I have to surrender it. Again, I keep saying that because it's the title here, surrendering, right? I have to let it go. Mistakes do not define you. Your past does not define you. How you carry on from mistakes, how you make up for mistakes, that defines you. That is the part where it shows character, right? Also, when you make mistakes and you've blown it, when you're on the other side of it, you kind of realize that, okay, I'm regretful for the things that the mistakes that I made, but at the same time, I wouldn't be the person today that I am had I not made those mistakes. Now, believe me, when I say that, the mistakes I made have made me the person I am today, and I've tried to better myself. I have to tell that to myself a lot. I have to surrender, okay? I think that is something that we all would do well to think about. I think sometimes that we don't let go. We hold on to things and we try to control things so much that it's stifling to us, and it's stifling to our musicality, it's stifling to our songwriting, it's stifling to our relationships and everything around us. I remember one time, and he said this to me in a class that I took, and he says it on a DVD. I took a lesson with Greg Bissonette one time. And I asked him, I said, what do you think about, Greg, when you are playing a drum solo? And he says, I don't think. I let go and I let God. And I loved that. He goes, I sit and I practice at my drum set so much that when it comes time to play a drum solo in front of people, I just have to let go and let it happen. I can't hold on and try to play every note. I have to let go. That's hard to do because now not only are you dealing with the spiritual aspect of it, you're dealing with the mental aspect of it, and you're dealing with the physical aspect of it. You know, playing any instrument is physical. Playing a drum set is incredibly physical, right? So having, again, faith, it gives you a certain peace. It allows you to take your hands off the wheel and let somebody else drive, right? You know, what is it? What's that old saying? Jesus is my co-pilot. Here, you take the wheel, please, right? And again, I'll say it again for a third time. It's called a leap of faith for a reason. Now, in this video, I'm not making this video for any other reason other than I think as musicians, it's really, or any artist, right? Any art form, we want to control it. We want to control every little aspect of it. We want to, you know, if you're a painter, you want to control every little line on the page or on the painting. You know, if you're a potter, you want to make the pottery perfect. If you're a musician, you want to play a perfect gig. I've been playing drums my entire life. I mean, as far back as I can remember, there's been drumsticks in my hands. I have been all over the planet playing music, and I'm so grateful for that. And out of the thousands of gigs that I've played in my lifetime, I've never played a perfect one. Never played a perfect one once. Played a lot of good ones. I've had a lot of times I've walked away from the stage going, man, I don't think I could do better than that. But even if I'm getting picky right there, it wasn't perfect, right? So I'm learning to let that go. I'm really learning to let that go. So young musicians, adult musicians, people who have been playing for a while, you know, if you struggle with this, let go, let go. It's not the easiest thing to do. If you want to talk to me about this, reach out to my website, bartrobley.com. I'd love to do some coaching sessions with you. It's a big part of what I do. You can also read about this in my latest book, Drum Up Your Business. And also there's a lot of stuff about this, about the spiritual aspects of drumming and rhythm in my book, The Rhythmic Journey. Both of those are available in hard copies, which are in the description below. They are also available in the digital version at Hudson Music, which are also in the description below. If you like this video and you like my content, please consider subscribing to my page and liking the video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and no matter where it takes you, roll with it. Surrender. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.